Stocks are dropping faster than Rick and Chelsea into a pond at the White Lotus, so you know what that means. This is just another day. This weekend, millions of protesters took to the streets to voice their opposition to Trump's slashing of the federal workforce, his unprecedented assault on our legal system, his cozy relationship with billionaire oligarchs, and his attempt to place a limit on Olive Garden's unlimited breadsticks. Last one's just a joke, but honestly, it feels like a fair assumption that if Trump is coming for some of America's bread, he's coming for all of it. But these marches might also have been just a reaction to the fact that Trump is lagging just a hair behind his November 3rd promise when he said, if Kamala wins, you are 3 days away from the start of a 1929-style economic depression. If I win, you're 3 days away from the best jobs, the biggest paychecks, and the brightest economic future the world has ever seen. Now, by my calculation, we are about 152 days since that promise. So how's it going?
Stocks are down sharply once again after the market opened. It could be the third straight day of major losses after President Trump announced sweeping tariffs last week.
This is the worst start to any presidential term since the S&P 500 launched back in the 1950s.
Does it feel like deja vu to last week and what we were seeing in the 3 and 4%? Everything is down, down, down.
Yeah, well, it's deja vu, but actually my phone is kind of blowing up with notifications of certain stocks that have reached a year low. There are entire sectors that are reaching lows that we have not seen in over a year.
So the stock market is like a worse version of deja vu. You know, like when you walk into a bank and you have that overwhelming sense that you've been here before, only this time you have no money. But up on the Hill, Trump's policies still have some defenders.
We have to give the president space. His strategy is playing out. It's been less than a week, so I think he's owed that.
Come on, guys. Give the president space. The man who likes to grab women by the pussy doesn't like to feel boxed in. But Speaker Johnson isn't the only one telling Americans to simply trust Donald Trump.
We're trying to build American jobs. So how do you do that? And we're trying to get America back to work. When Trump left office in the beginning of 21, we had a great economy. The Biden administration, Democrats ruined it.
We had an economy that was in a state of calamity and catastrophe. President Trump's policy of reshoring our supply chains, pushing for total expensing of capital gains, eliminating regulation, eliminating intrusive green new scam environmental rules, pushing for the biggest, broadest tax cut in American history, and reducing taxes on American workers, including ending taxes on tips, ending taxes on overtime, ending taxes on Social Security. This economic program is the single most important program for American wealth, prosperity, and rejuvenation that we've ever seen in this country.
And people with used cars are going to be worth a little bit more. And when it's worth more, they have more down payment, they have more equity, and they can make their payment less than it was.
So it's time for a total reset. It's time for them to know who's boss. And it's time for us to be the master once again. That's the point of this country, actually, to be the master of our own destinies.
But hey, Benny's right. The point of this country is to be the master of our own destinies. You know, so long as you're not gay, trans, black, brown, an immigrant who became a legal resident, a refugee, working class, a resident of blue state, or pretty much anyone who isn't a white Christian male praying at the altar of the God King. But it turns out that maybe, just maybe, the dam is breaking within the Republican Party because today, 7 Republicans in the Senate signed on to a bipartisan bill that would limit Trump's ability to impose unilateral tariffs without congressional approval and would require Trump to notify Congress of new tariffs or increases in tariffs within 48 hours and provide an explanation of the reasoning for the action. And I gotta say, this is adorable. Republicans are trying to place rules on the monster who they helped create. Okay, now remember, no killing of the townspeople without 48 hours notice. This man doesn't know what he's going to do 48 seconds from now. Some errant synapse fires in his brain and words fall out of his face, and that's pretty much how Republican policy is determined these days. And that's why people love him, right? Because he's impulsive and exciting, and frankly, whatever Trump does won't even have that much of an effect on people. Just ask some of Trump's biggest supporters, like Dave Portnoy. In 2015, Portnoy wrote, "Let's be honest, my day-to-day life isn't going to change that much no matter who gets elected." So, how's Dave feeling these days?
I went super viral when I said I lost $7 million. I'd kill to be back to losing $7 million. I haven't even looked. If I had to guess, I'm down in these last 3 days, probably close to 20. I don't know, like 10, 15% of my net worth, poof. But I'm still here. That's the game. That's what I'm in. Like, do I like it? No. Am I crying? Am I like, oh, woe is me? I wish I voted for Kamala. No. Do I wish this didn't go down like this? Yes. Am I in this to make money? Yes. Do I wish I had that money in my investment portfolio? Yes.
Well, Dave, I wish I could be more helpful here, but at a bare minimum, you might want to look down, because if you just drop your crack tag, there's a chance of $1,000 waiting for you. I know it's not much, but hey, desperate times. How about Meghan McCain? On March 4th of this year, McCain wrote, "Inject every single one of these policy proposals into my veins. In my veins." I'd hate to be Meghan McCain's assistant, standing there with a needle dictating copy from Trump's executive order freeing the insurrectionists. But today was a little bit different. I don't claim to be a financial expert, but there are so many hypocritical talking heads on TV talking about how they don't care about losing money or they don't care about being in financial pain for a while. Look, I think I see what's going on here. This is what many economists call the Johann Schmidt theory. It's when you want something injected into your veins and expect a certain result. See, Meghan thought Trump's policies would make us all, but it turns out it's been a bit of a disaster. But how about Aiden Ross, the famed streamer, Trump supporter, and one-time guest on So You Think You Can Make Choreographers Cry? So how's Aiden feeling about those dance moves right now?
Guys, you want me to be honest with you? I don't know how many of you guys are invested in crypto or stocks. What the fuck is going on with our country? Guys, why am I poor? Like, what is going on in the world right now? Why the fuck is this going on? Can somebody please explain what's going on? Why are we all losing? Why are we all negative right now? Like, does anybody know why?
I know why. It's because you thought it would be cool to staunchly support a guy who doesn't understand the first thing about the economy while dancing to the YMCA, and now you have to live at one. Any billionaires want to turn on Trump?
We are starting to hear from some notable billionaires speaking out. Bill Ackman, who endorsed Trump and has been a very outspoken supporter of elements of the Trump agenda. He is basically pleading with the president to change course. He put out this tweet last night. He said that the president...
It was a lengthy statement, yes.
It was. Most of his are. But he said that the president has an opportunity on Monday to call a timeout and have the time to execute on fixing an unfair tariff system. He said, alternatively, we are heading for a self-induced economic nuclear winter, and we should start hunkering down.
That's right, a nuclear winter, which, in case you're thinking of prepping, better save up, because the Outdoor Industry Association recently released a statement saying tariffs will hurt outdoor companies. Yeah, the only thing worse than a nuclear winter is the one you can't afford.
And we keep having these, conversations now about how the stock market looks as bad as it did during the pandemic. I'm sure there's a lot of people on that floor that can offer up that kind of perspective here of what it was like back then, especially now, as in this time of day, they start to look forward to the stock futures for tomorrow even.
And that's a great point, and that's exactly what people have been telling me. But the difference, though, during the pandemic is everybody knew what was wrong. It was the global pandemic. And as part of that, they also knew how to respond to it.
Well, most people knew how to respond. Others thought a quick shot of Clorox was the solution. Which, by the way, in case you're wondering, when it comes to the measles, not much has changed.
How concerned are you about the measles outbreak? There was another fatality today, and what else would you like to see in terms of the response?
Well, I think they're doing reports on it. It's so far a fairly small number of people relative to what we're talking about. Something that people have known about for many, many years. I mean, measles has been, this is not something new. And we'll see what happens. But certainly, if it progresses, we'll have to take action.
Yep, there's that deja vu again, right back to the last time Trump presided over an outbreak. Only worse, because now, thanks to him, we also have no money. The reality is that this president is just so wildly unprepared for every situation. He thinks the world is going to bow down to him, but he is sorely mistaken. The EU is proposing 25% tariffs on goods, and China is possibly coordinating with Japan and South Korea in response to Trump's tariffs. Trump is trying to strong-arm the globe, but after seeing his visit with the Dodgers at the White House today, I think he might just like strong arms.
And Max Muncy, I want to congratulate Max. Max. Come here, Max. These arms are very strong when I touch them. I'm used to shaking politicians and hitting their armor. It's like Jell-O. And now it's like steel, all these guys.
Quit putting the crunch on our economy and just join a fucking gym.